difficulties there
Yes.
on my part for not, being advanced with all this technology stuff. But thank you, Mr. Beny Blaq, for joining us.
Yes, no doubt. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Okay, everyone. So Beny is one of our 2020 speakers for the Signature CEO Conference. And we were supposed to have that this month, but things happen. But we're gonna, push forward and, welcome the new date, and hopefully we can get to the new date. But in the interim, I did want to bring on some of our speakers just to talk with them in reference to, how can we navigate through this challenging moment of COVID-19. And one of the things that I wanted to talk about as far as having the right mindset and our bodies healthy through this process. And I will say that although maybe my mind isn't right, because I feel very spirited, but when I got on the scale, I was just like, oh, a lot has happened since I have been confined to this house.
Yeah.
So, Mr. Beny, walk us through as far as some of the things that we can do in order to stay healthy, strong, not only physically, but also mentally.
Well, the first thing, of course, I literally just got off of Facebook Live with my own community, talking about this, and the first place you start is here, right? Because the mindset is this thing is just beginning, right? So we have a long way to go, and if you watch TV, if you're looking at social media, if you're looking at all of these different things, it is just being reinforced how long we have to go to get out of this, and it can feel daunting, right? And it's easy to create a mindset out of a moment, and I always say that, make sure that you're not creating a mindset out of a moment, and this right here is a moment, right? It's not something that's going to last forever. So your mindset should be of that this is a temporary situation, right? And that's the first place you start is here before you can do anything else. So never create mindsets out of moments in your life of things that's going on. So that is the first thing that I would suggest to do. So once you get to that place of where you understand that this is just a moment, right? Then the second thing to do is be prepared for that moment, right? So I was telling my clients is that creating a schedule, like I have my son and he's 6, so he's out of school right now. So we have a schedule for him that he does every single day, right? He has math time, he has reading time, he has active play time. He has all of these different things that he has to do for himself. And as adults, we should kind of practice the same kind of thing, right? Like we should have a schedule for ourselves because we're home all day. And I know you're probably just like me. I can sit down, start working. I have snacks next to me, and I could work 8, 10, 12, 15 hours. Easy,
Yeah.
right? Easy, just do that. So one of the biggest things is to have a schedule for myself that I'm able to spend time with my family, able to get the work that I need to get done, and then still be able to be active and do certain things that I need to do as well. So having a schedule helps to keep you even more so, more than ever, even though you're at home, having a schedule makes it easier for you to be able to, be active, get stuff done, still spend time with family, walk your dog, do all that kind of stuff, and still be, that. So, that starts with one. So that's the first two things, have the right mindset and then create a schedule to execute what you need to do. Then, of course, exercising at least 3 times a week, right? Set some time aside to exercise. And exercise doesn't have to be, like this big laborious thing, like what we think it has to be, right? Like we can go for a walk, we can go for a jog. If you're confined to your house because of, depending on what state that you live in, at home DVDs, you can join live workout streams. There's a lot of different things, but getting some type of exercise at a minimum of 3 times a week will definitely help with that as well. The second thing is to stay hydrated, right? A lot of us, like, you don't think about how much water you do not drink, right? You must stay hydrated. I say at least at minimum, yes, 64
Water
ounces.
right here.
Yep, 64 ounces of water a day is what I like to say. At minimum, 64. If you're more active, of course, you'll drink more, but at a minimum of 64 ounces of water a day. And of course, getting sleep, right? 7 hours of sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're stressing, your cortisol levels all over the place. So you gotta, take some time to get some rest, take a nap if you're a napping person, but try to get at least 7 hours. Right now, nobody has an excuse not to be able to get no type of sleep. You got nothing else to do, right? So getting at least 7 hours of sleep at night is what I like to say. And then work on your nutrition as well, right? So at least 5 servings of veggies per day. So at least 5 servings of that. I like to try to say cut or limit the amount of snacks. Let me go back to that hydrating one thing. Alcohol can be, like, wine, a lot of our ladies out there, wine is
And I
like,
have been sipping since we
right. Wine is one of those go-to relaxing things, and we'll talk about that at the end where you talk about stress. But we'll come back to that. But at least 7 hours of sleep, 5 servings of veggies per day. Like one of the tips that I like to give out is even if you're at home and you're working, still prep your foods, right? Still get up as if you're going to work. Don't stay your whole time in pajamas and because you'll have the same mood and the same mindset of what you're wearing, right? So try to get out of your pajamas. Try to do the same routine you would do if you were going to work. Get up, get dressed, right? Go take a shower, do all of that good stuff. Get ready for your day, meal prep, have your food there that you're supposed to eat. Make your snacks, because what you'll notice is you'll snack more than you'll eat, right? So exactly. So having the veggies there, you're having a serving of protein in every meal, limiting on the starches, right? Just having a structure. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect. And plus, right now, because the grocery stores look like trash, we're limited on the amount of things that we can get. So, don't try for perfection, but more so try for just, maintaining a healthy lifestyle or of some form of balance without grazing all day. Make sure that you're getting actual meals in versus just snacking all day long. All right. And then last but not least, keeping the stress low. Right. That is a key thing. Limit the amount of alcohol intake. This is the time where we tend to drink more. Okay. We tend to have more wine uptake, more alcohol, sodas, things that, yep. Comfort food seems to be even more prevalent now, because as we're stressed, we go to those things that we're normally used to eating that we shouldn't be all the time. Limit the amount of snacks that are in your house as well. That'll also help out. If it's not there and you have to go to the grocery store to get it, you're more likely, you're not as likely to be eating those things. But if you have a prevalent amount of stuff in the house, then you're just going to be doing that. So try to limit on the snacks. Reduce your TV and your social media, because those things are just going to make you even more stressed, and then that turns into eating less, more turns into lack of sleep, and you worry about finances and things of that nature. Get fresh air daily, and like I said, limit the amount. I keep saying this: limit the amount of alcohol intake, because that is a big one. Yeah, but that's it. That's what I would do, and what I've been preaching and telling my folks. But getting out and getting active. Sometimes especially when you're active, and especially when you're exercising, the mindset that you have is that you don't want to ruin something that you just did, right? So when you exercise, like, I just worked out for an hour, busted my tail. I don't want to go ruin this by eating X, Y, and Z. So sometimes the mindset of eating or actually exercising will help alleviate a lot of the other things that you may deal with as far as stress, as far as overeating and snacking, because you have that guilt set mentality or mindset that we always have of, I don't want to ruin this by doing X, Y, and Z. So, those will help out as well.
Okay. So you made some very good points, and some of them I want to highlight a little bit. So the fact that we are confined to our homes for the most part, we're not going to work. People should be cooking more rather than eating out. Mm-hmm. So that should benefit. But you brought up something that I realized that I was making the mistake of, is that the cooking at home, that I am cooking those comfort foods rather than and healthier option, which I think that, and the reason why I went for the comfort foods is because for me is that it's easier. Oh, I can I can just put this in the crock pot, cook my beef stew and then have my pot of rice. And then it's just easy. And it's just something as simple and as quick, rather than I think that we need to think a little bit beyond that. Correct?
Yep. And not only that, but meal prep services are still delivering to homes right now. So that's another good way. Like I have my meal prep territory, like they actually deliver to the house now. So, find convenience. That's another thing, right? Like finding convenience in times like this is really, really helpful, because the less you have to think about, the easier it is to actually maintain and do it. So if you have a meal prep service that you know of that delivers to the house or anything like that, that's 3 less things that you have to worry about as far as breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And all you got to worry about is now is your snacks. So having those things in place, putting those things in place, helps to alleviate doing things like eating. Because if you're not prepared, then you eat what you want to eat, right? And you eat choices. So just having that preparation is key.
Okay. And then hand in hand with those snacks, I was telling my grocery store person, if I get him, he knows I come in there on a regular basis. And so when I went last week, he was like, oh my God. He was like, this is the most food you ever bought. I was like, I know. And so for me, it's just like I bought so much food at one time, and I'm not used to having all that food in my house. It's like I feel like I have to eat it like all at one time, because else it's going to spoil.
Yep. And that's exactly what I was saying. Like if it's not there, then you tend not to eat it, right? But if it's there, it's just like my kids, right? As soon as we come back from the grocery store, what's the first thing they do? They go open up all the foods that they want to taste and snack, the chips. They're not even hungry, but they just want to eat because you just bought it and it's now in the house. It's the same. We as adults, we are no different. Right. So we see it's like brand new shiny objects in the house, and we just want to sample, taste. Oh, I haven't had this in a while. Oh, I haven't did this. And then we just go and we just start to snack and start finding things that we want to eat, because those things make us feel better about ourselves. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
And you brought something real interesting. I don't have kids. I just have a dog. But I do see a lot of my friends that have kids are now starting to complain about their kids being at home. And I think that if we set that example, as far as our eating habits, like you said, your kids, they're now at home. One of my friends, I have a dog date that she wanted. So she came over on Sunday to get it. And she's like, oh my gosh, she's like, do you know how many gallons of milk and juices I've bought since my kid has been at home? And so I looked at her, I said, well, if he was at school, would he be drinking like every minute on the minute? I was like, you need to tell him, you need to think like you're at school. So I think we need to train, as we're training ourselves as adults, that we're also training our kids to do, hey, you wouldn't be doing this at school.
Preparation is key. Having a schedule for your kids of what they're supposed to do. If you want them out of your hair, then you got to give them a schedule of things that they need to do. So like when they wake up, they brush their teeth, they take a shower, they have reading time, they have if you give them a set schedule of things that you want them to accomplish throughout the day, then that gives you the freedom and the flexibility to get things done that you need to get done, as well as keeps them occupied from just because they're really no different than us, right? Like they're not stress eating, they're eating out of boredom. Right. Right. So they're absolutely no different than us. And we're eating out of boredom as well and stress. But, if you have things that keep them occupied, then, they have a lunchtime, they have a playtime, they have a this, they have that, then they're still in that same mindset. And then it's easier. Well, I know for Virginia, schools are closed down, period. But
yeah,
the rest of the year. But think about it as well. Like I said, the whole mindset is that this is a temporary situation. So you want to create a situation for you right now that when this is over, it's not as hard to transition back into your everyday lifestyle, right? Because if you get into this pattern of just, eating and gorging and being lazy and complacent, then when it's time to actually get back outside and into the real world, it's going to be a harder transition because this is now your new norm. So you want to keep it as close to your norm as possible.
Okay. Having structure, keeping it to the norm, and preparations sounds like those are the key things that we need to keep up here, because, we got to get our mind right to get our body right.
Yep.
Okay. And so, Beny, tell people a little bit about yourself as far as like who you are, what you do, and what you can do for people in their body and their mind.
So I own a fitness studio, a fitness family is what I like to call it, in Woodbridge, Virginia. It's called Rebel Fit. We recently shut our doors, not really shut, but we transitioned. I like to say that we transitioned to online training here within, I think Saturday was our last day, and we transitioned on Monday. We went full force live training there as well. So we service mostly women between the ages of 30 to 55, 60, who want to lose weight, stay healthy, have energy, and get back to the person that they used to be. So that is who we mostly service, and we are now doing online training, and we're going to launch our online program to the public next week, because I am a perfectionist. So this is the first week that we're running it with our clients. So we're just working out any kinks. It's been beautiful right now. We created a online portal for them that they can log in and they can watch the live. They can actually watch the live workouts, and they'll have a live coach in front of them training. We have nutrition as an aspect with that as well. And then if you can't make any of the live workouts, we have about 4 per day. And if you can't make them, then we have the actual replays. So we save the replays. We do live every day. Every day we do a 15, 20. It ends up being like almost like a 30, 40-minute accountability coaching Zoom call that we do every day. We have a nutrition coach on staff as well. So what she does is she helps us by every other week. She does a live cooking class in a Facebook group that we have. Or she'll do a nutrition masterclass is what she's going to be doing. So we flip that back and forth. We have meditation live. We have live meditation Monday through Friday. So we have a coach that does that for like 10 or 15-minute live it's like 6:30 a.m. And then we have yoga on Sundays as well, all virtual. Everything is virtual right now. So it's been going well. The clients have been absolutely loving it. So we're almost ready to bring it to the public. So by next week, we should have that live.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Beny, for being on here for us and giving us all those invaluable tips. Ladies, gentlemen, he has gentlemen in the class. I've been to his classes before. There are guys there, but he caters to the women. I can vouch for his services. Beny will whip you into shape. Let me tell you that. So he spares no expense. He doesn't let you slack up. He stays on top of you. He reminds you about eating that pork and that bacon when you're not doing right. That was my weakness, bacon. So reach out to Beny. Follow him on social media. Tell him your social media handles.
Rebel Fit USA is our Facebook and Instagram, and my personal is Beny, Beny Blaq is our personal page, or my personal page, but Rebel Fit USA. That's Rebel Fit USA on Instagram and on Facebook.
Awesome. And I will leave that information on here for you guys, but take heed to what Beny said. It's all about preparation, mindset, getting ourselves together and getting through this. And let's stay off of that. If you stay on social media, do it for fun. Don't get bogged down into all this COVID-19 stuff, because it will drive you crazy.
Yes. Oh, one last thing, rebelfitusa.com. That's our actual website. So you can
rebelfitusa.com. I will go back on our Facebook page and add all of his contact information on here for you guys so that you can reach out to him. Other than that, Beny, we look forward to seeing you at the Signature CEO Conference in June.
I was ready.
Yes. But hey, as they say, third time is a charm, and we're gonna keep it going, hopefully.
Yes.
Okay. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Beny.
All right.
All right. Bye-bye.